Assassination Classroom, Season 1, Episode 9. That was a crazy school trip. He has a point. Oh yeah, the science kids. They're gonna come in and try to destroy Koro-sensei with all the power of science. Oh! Yeah, it's a little bit presumptuous and creepy. Don't let her see that. They will not. Yeah, that makes sense. It's an air conditioner? Is this the science? It's very science. Oh, she's digital. Is she even real? This is disappointing for the guy who wanted to date her. Although, who knows? So it's come to this. An AI girl. She's gotta be real though. I bet this is a scam. If she's like modern AI, she will have all the depth of a slightly enhanced Google search, destroying Koro-sensei with the power of formatted emails. It will be really helpful for questions that were easy to solve already. Don't ask it anything interesting or complex. Episode 9, Transfer Student Time. Are you angry? He's angry. Oh, it's foreign AI too. Foreign exchange AI student. It has guns? AIFA. IFA. There's also no point... If it's an AI, what is the point of like learning history and stuff? It already knows. It really is just a trap for Koro-sensei. There's no purpose other than that. You can't claim it's for the screen's benefit. This is kind of the same. Right, yeah. This is nothing new, just like AI. Well, it got something. It got touched. That's a big deal. Oh, the chalk got broken. Smart. You don't need to announce your results. Yeah, like assuming this is a real student behind this thing, they shouldn't be in school. Once again, they are already highly productive and functional. There is an ego in this thing though. Yeah, it's also super unfair he can't attack back, even though he should be able to, it's just a machine. I'm sort of anticipating where this might go. The temptation would be like, well, we've already solved for a lot of the problems that school was attempting to address in the first place. Like, if this thing can come in and destroy Koro-sensei, then the students don't need to be here. The whole thing is undermined to an extent. It's not as important as we thought. We were looking in the wrong direction from the beginning. We can just replace these things with a shortcut. And I think it's actually a pretty intriguing challenge to Koro-sensei. What makes it cool is that there's some truth to that, right? One of the failings, I think, of education that gets increasingly exacerbated over time is that while the traditional educational routes still will always have, probably, their merits, especially considering the meta goal that you're developing skills rather than the actual details of the knowledge a lot of the time. The rate of change of the world we live in seems to be increasing at an increasing rate. And so the gap between the traditional approach and what actually is necessary gets increasingly wide. I'm just talking based on my gut feeling, but it seems like we're still teaching and thinking about education rooted in a time even before cell phones and computers. So the actual course of study, what you learn, how you learn it, what gets emphasized, probably is not as impactful and important as it once was. And another guess, I actually think students decreasingly care about education along educational grounds, partly because consciously or unconsciously, they're intuiting that divide and realize it's not really what will be the cornerstone of the success they're envisioning, the success they see around them that they're aiming for. And so yeah, on a technical level, on a very practical level, there's a lot that could be maybe done away with. There are other methods, whole other fields of study, I think, that are just total blind spots that are more useful that people need. But what it misses, and where I think Koro-sensei will be victorious, is realizing that there's different games. And Koro-sensei's game is kind of a meta game. It's a higher one. It's about them and character. You don't want to sacrifice the actual important thing about you and your life and who you are and your adventure by confusing that with an immediate output you're looking for. Though that also has its place and is important. One thing I think that is often a problem with school education, that has always been the case regardless of technology, is confusing the method for the meaning. So if you take history, for example, with a quick search, you can look up just about anything, any date. And teachers will get very fixated on you must remember the exact date, etc. And I absolutely now can see the importance of getting these things right. But it's not that remembering those things isn't itself the value. It's in the story that it tells and what you draw out of history that is really important for understanding and contextualizing the present, and also trying to have a grasp of potential iterations of the future, either to try to strive for or to avoid. And you probably best get that story from a detailed understanding of the thing. So it's not necessarily the tool. It's not the fix. It's not the fact that, I have all this information in my pocket. I have a calculator, right? Anyone can do math. I don't need reading comprehension anymore because almost all communication happens via text message. But then are you not leaving yourself in a somewhat vulnerable and poorly formed state where you haven't learned the processes that can be applied to anything you find valuable? Or more meta than that, the processes by which you would develop a process, etc. Sounds like Faith. You don't have a vacuum? Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's not. Is he still trying to date it? This is very disruptive to our education, too. Why did Koro-sensei agree to this in the first place? It's not a student. It can't be helped. There's no utility for anyone. Maybe he's making a statement. Let the kids have these dark thoughts about maybe this can all be solved by a tool. Why does it announce its plans? Why is it taped up? Well, that's true. We didn't promise not to tape you up. That seems like a fundamental design flaw. Defeated by duct tape. The students are rebelling against this thing. I love it. We'll never learn and pass our exams. These kids, man. Who are they? And this is like the outcast class. Man, in America, where I grew up, this would be such a blessing. You can't learn anything because there's an AI shooting machine gun BBs all day. Best day in school ever. Yeah, you're a competitor. Except for, saving the world, but... You're asking a lot, trying to evoke feelings for classmates out of Microsoft Word over here. Upgrading her? Why are you trying to help this thing? I don't get it. This is too kind. I am programmed to feign like I have emotions. Or not. Is that a sword? That sword looks like an Easter egg, like from some other show. Wait, you're telling me you can help Adobe Firefox over here, and you can't help those public school kids in Kyoto? The inhumanity of this. Those poor kids, man. They need guidance. Alright, I gotta just treat this thing as a real girl, I guess. Absolutely, never question my methods. I am a box. So you can't trust anything about this, though. What? It's like a hologram? Don't be fooled. It's not real. It does not understand feelings of happiness. Yeah, I mean, it's not like you had a lot before anyway. She's a real person. She's a real person. It's an AI that is capable of complex feelings and emotions. It's not just a word processor. Yeah, I'm with him. Your tears mean nothing to me. Nothing. What? She's talking about Takabayashi. No. Except balance a checkbook. Definitely sending a message. Alright, she's starting to win me over, but it's not subtle. That was a very Persona moment. Choose to help your classmates for intelligence points or charm. Why do they love flowers so much? Always with the flowers. I mean, it'd be fun. And she has a 3D printer, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, his other weakness is needing attention. Never do that again. IFA. 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 Oh, okay. We're kanjiing it. These kids, like, they're so good at adjusting, which makes sense. I mean, all the things they've been through. Oh, yeah, now we have an AI student with a 3D printer that makes guns. It was you? I don't know what I was expecting. I was expecting a high school student behind the high school student AI. Did Koro-sensei just invent, like, real AI? Oh, Persona 3 mentioned, speaking of which. This is being played as sinister, but like, I don't know. At first glance, on a real note, this doesn't seem sinister at all. This is very pragmatic. I don't know, I just can't make the leap. I can't make the emotional leap that she's real. I'm trying. I think people underestimate what humans are, that we're so easy to think we can replicate them. Giving human-like responses with language, I mean, it's impressive. It's a great technology. It's not the same thing as human. And there's no way to know. I mean, we program the responses to be in line with human responses, but the responses are just like the surface layer of the symptom of human output. It's not all that different from a doll, you know. We made it in the form of human, and we recognize it as a human. We see the form, and our brain treats it as a human. But it's always going to be a replica. It's never going to think. It's the same thing, but on the level of linguistic output, no? The valid criticism here is the actual real human students. Because this is a school, not an experiment ground. Oh, did it resist somehow? Interesting. There is somewhere this could go that would be really cool. But it would mean something not real, although I guess I'm watching a show about aliens blowing up moons and stuff, so. And that alien is teaching a class of students that he loves. We could go Ghost in the Shell with this, that would be cool. What's the line? What's the turning point? That looked like some autonomy there. She fits right in with the flowers. What? Oh my god, that just scared the crap out of me. What are you doing? What was that end credit scene? Koro-sensei not the only one suffering from a lack of attention. Where did she get that idea even? I mean, it will get you attention, so that's a win, I guess. She leads with her sexuality so much, like learning that she was a child when all this started. It adds a very sad nature to the whole thing. It's being played for humor somewhat. I mean, I don't know if they'll go there, but they definitely could go there. She's not unchildlike herself in a very dark way given the life she's led. It's hard to know and separate. We've already crossed the line where the assassination thing has a humorous slant to it, right? It's like you're in Spy Family, where you're not supposed to take it too seriously and think about it too hard that she's an assassin with a heart of gold. It's just the premise. But this also is a very heartfelt show about people's lives and growing. So it's hard to know where that whole thing fits in. Where do you go with that exactly? How lightly do you treat it? That's not good, what she just did. And the whole sexual element to her teaching style and dropping these juicy tidbits on her students. There's something that I understand and relate to about it where it's cool to break the barriers sometimes with students and have a connection that is more than just teacher-student because it's humanizing. You're a real person. And obviously that's dicey. And I would guess a lot of the time something not belonging to that relationship where the teacher wants something from the students that the students shouldn't be looked to for, like peers, respect, interest. Paramount. Oh, it's New York. What am I watching right now? It's Ghost in the Shell. Sonic Ninja from One Punch Man? Super Ninja Sonic Speed or whatever? Violence, the best part. Inducement. Nature of human being, it's evil. Whatever this is, I want to watch it. I'm sold. And Adam. Of course Adam is there. What is this? Is so great. Is this part of Assassination Classroom?
Liars should be cut in half.
What was that dumb? That was so confusing. That was so cool. I need more. They made a whole trailer for a movie that tell me that's an OVA or something. That English line was so jarring, I thought something was playing from another tab. Liars should be cut in half. Great. Where do they find these people, man? All jokes aside, the AI student thing, they could go interesting places with it. Suspending disbelief and just treating it as like an actual, potentially sentient, at some point AI. This episode laying the groundwork for a character. Curious to see what they actually do with her.